The first book that we have is 6 Months to Six Figures by Peter Voogd. I read this when I was first getting started, super motivational, but I don't think it's something that if you're just getting started with YouTube, it's the first book that you should read. So I'm just going to place this in the good category. The next book is Superfans by Pat Flynn, and this is a great book for understanding how to build a loyal audience and just building a tribe of actual super fans. This is a great book. I'm gonna leave it in the great category. Next we have Show Your Work and Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And I think these are must reads for anyone that's on YouTube. Show Your Work helped me with getting over the hump of just pressing record and creating content. And Still Like an Artist really helped me understand how to ethically draw inspiration and come up with unique ways of creating my own content. So for that, I'm just going to place them both in the amazing category. Now, I would definitely read Still Like an Artist first. Then we have A Technique for Producing Ideas, which is an outstanding book, which has like an actual formula for coming up with ideas. So I'm gonna put that in the amazing category as well. I learned about this video from a friend at Vid Summit, and as soon as I read it, it was like a game changer. Next, we have The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. And this is probably one of the best books that I've ever read on how to make money. And so if you're someone that's wanting to build a business around your YouTube channel, I can't recommend this book enough. So for that, I'm gonna put it up here in the insanely good category. Then we have YouTube Secrets by Sean Cannell and Benji Travis. This is a great all-around book for just all around YouTube. So everything from the YouTube algorithm to creating a business with YouTube to affiliate marketing and stuff like that. So I think that this should go up in the amazing category. We'll actually put it ahead of A Technique for Producing Ideas. Then we have Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. And this is an outstanding book around mindset and dealing with stress and just being an overall good person. And in my opinion, I think mindset is probably the most important thing when it comes to having a YouTube channel and long-term sustainability with being on the platform. So for that, I would put that up as the #1 book so far because mindset is so important. Next, we have The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And I thought this was a really good book. And it really just explains how having money has less to do about how smart you are and more about how you behave. And so I think it's an important skill to have and know. So for that, I'm gonna put it in the good category, but I don't feel like it's something that's like essential for getting started on YouTube. Then we have $100 Million Leads by Alex Hormozi. Outstanding book, especially if you're trying to get more leads for your YouTube business. So for that, if you're trying to make a business out of YouTube, I think that you should definitely focus on this. So I'm gonna put it in the great category. It's a really easy book to read as well. And then How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. I think that every person should have to read this book at least once in their life. This is a great book for just being an overall good person and really understanding how to communicate with people. So if you're wanting to work on more effective communication and stuff like that, this is a great book. I'm gonna put this in the insanely good category ahead of The Millionaire Fast Lane. Next, we have The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And this is one of those books that like when I read it, it blew my mind. It was that good, and it's still that good to this day. There are some things in it that are a little bit dated as far as like starting an online business and stuff like that. As far as like better time management, I can't recommend it enough. Because there is some dated information there, I'm gonna put it in the great category, but I still feel like it's a book that should definitely get read. Next, we have The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, and this is another one of those books, just mental explosion, so good. Naval talks about how to generate wealth in this book and how to live a good life, and also explains like just ways of thinking about things. And so for that, I'm going to put it in the insanely good category. We're going to put it here just before How to Win Friends and Influence People. Next, we have .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. Must-read book for anyone that's wanting to start a business on YouTube. Explains the concepts of funnels, but there's also good storytelling tactics in this book. So I put this in the amazing category. Then we have $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan, who is actually a YouTuber. Like he's an entrepreneur, but he has a YouTube channel, like 2 million something subscribers at the time of this video, I think. And this is a really good book on how to just actually get started and not being afraid to get started and getting over the fear of failure, because how important feedback is. So for this, I would rank it in the good category. I would put it probably above The Psychology of Money. Actually, let's put it above 6 Months to Six Figures as well. Then we have $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. And this is the first book in the series. And it's just a book on how to create offers so good that someone would feel stupid saying no. And so for that, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the great category, just ahead of $100 Million Leads, because you want to read $100 Million Offers before you read $100 Million Leads. Next, we have Tube Ritual by Brian G. Johnson, who's actually a YouTuber in the YouTube help space. This was one of the first books that I ever read whenever I was first getting started on YouTube. I think it's a great book. Some of it, the stuff that's in this book, looking back at it now, is a little bit older, like playlist strategies and things like that. So for that reason, I'm going to place it in the okay category. I would read YouTube Secrets before I read this book today, but I think it's still a decent book. Next is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Outstanding book on how to build habits that are good and then get rid of bad habits. But I really like this book for YouTube because in the book, he talks about how you focus on getting 1% better each day and how that compounds over time, and you have greater results in the long run. So for that, since it's a foundational thing for YouTube, I think that I'm going to put that in the insanely good category. Next is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This is the sequel to .com Secrets. This book digs more into the storytelling aspect and how to create webinars. And I think it's essential for anyone that's wanting to have an online business. So for that, I'm going to put it up here in the amazing category. You don't even have to read it for the webinar piece. You can just read it for the storytelling piece, and it's really, really good. Then we have The Entrepreneur's Blueprint to Massive Success by Peter Voogd. This is the sequel to 6 Months to Six Figures. This book didn't hit me like 6 Months to Six Figures did. It's still a good book. Don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of good information in there, but it wasn't as impactful as 6 Months to Six Figures was. I think it was probably the timing. I had already read 6 Months to Six Figures and a few other books after that. So for this, I'm going to put it in the okay category. It's not a bad book, but just wasn't something that was super impactful for me. Next is Poor Charlie's Almanac. And this book is written about Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's business partner. And he's since passed away, but he's one of the smartest guys that I've ever studied. This book has like all of his mental models and the way that he understood the world, and really just fascinated me and made me want to be more of a learner, and really just like his philosophy on things. So this is a really good book. It's a lot of it's business tailored as well. So you can take this and apply it to like a YouTube business, but ultimately you can apply it to just regular things in life as well. So for that, I'm going to put it in the amazing category, and I'm going to put it just ahead of Still Like an Artist. Next is a YouTube Formula by Daryl Eves, and Daryl is probably one of the smartest guys on the planet when it comes to YouTube. He's coached some of the biggest creators on the platform like Mark Rober, Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, and this book just contains like the history of YouTube, skills, and like understanding the browse algorithm versus the search algorithm, and just it really breaks down YouTube in a way that you can understand it, everything from thumbnails to titles. Really good book. For that, I'm going to go ahead and place it in the amazing category, just ahead of YouTube Secrets. I would definitely read this book and read YouTube Secrets. YouTube Secrets is a good book when it comes to the business side of things and understanding the algorithms as well, but I would definitely read the YouTube Formula first. Next is Primal Branding by Patrick Hanlon. Outstanding book when it comes to branding and understanding branding. I think it's great because he explains all the characteristics and the things that make up a good brand, and you can apply that to your YouTube channel and your content. And it's better to understand this sooner than later, so I would put this up here right after YouTube Secrets. I still plan on reading a lot more books, but I wanted to make this video because I wish I would have read these a lot sooner. So if this was a video that you liked, or if there's one of these books that you loved, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.